and thank you for clicking on the video. Today's video is going to be on depression. I guess I'm going to title it, Is Depression Knocking at Your Door? I've mentioned about this topic before, and just by reading a few things recently, I thought it was appropriate to discuss depression. I know that some of you, as you watch this video, maybe you don't think it applies to you, but the reality is that every human being will experience depression at one point in their lives. And depression could be as easy as you apply for a job, you didn't get what you wanted, and therefore you're feeling sad about that loss. Depression could be one of your friends died. You just recently got some bad news. Somebody has cancer, somebody's not doing too well, somebody's sick. Somebody canceled on you. Maybe you guys had plans and somebody canceled on you. Or in general, depression is this feeling that things are not going well in your life. I read about this 20-some-year-old granddaughter of one of our President Kennedy, I believe it was, or nominees for president, that was found unresponsive, and come to find out she had battled depression for years, and possibly died due to an overdose. So this video is just to tell you about depression. This video is to talk about some of the things you could do to get away from depression so that it doesn't take a hold of you, grip you to the point where you're going to do something stupid with your life. So the first thing I will tell you, because I don't know if all of you will finish watching the whole video, is that depression is a temporary state of being. It is not a permanent state of being. Death is permanent, depression is temporary. So kind of like you have a part-time job that's temporary, and then permanent, you would think maybe permanent would be like retirement, that's maybe permanent. But even people who go into retirement come out of retirement. So let's talk about depression. And I'm actually at a place right now where I want to show you. It's a beautiful place. As you know, I enjoy traveling to beautiful places. Behind me is this amazing, and I'll walk that way so I can kind of show you because of the sun. It's this amazing church, and a lot of happy things happen at this church. You have marriages, you have baptisms, you have people attending Sunday Mass, and other things. And no, this is not a religious video, but this is just to tell you that a lot of happy things happen at this church that I'm about to show you. But also sad things happen. If you think about it, people die and they have funerals here. And so there's a celebration of life taking place. And so why am I bringing this up to you? Because I want to make a point here when I get to it. I'm going to circle here around. It's a beautiful grounds, and obviously the priest has spent a lot of time taking care of this amazing place, and it's well-built church. It's in a beautiful newer part of the city. And so, as I told you before, a lot of things happen here, both positive and negative. Now, let's go back to depression, and I'll connect the two in just a minute. But so, I told you that here at the church, a lot of positive things happen, such as weddings. People are in love, they get married, they start their lives, they start their families here. And so then, why is that so important? Because I'm talking about you, and I'm talking about directly to you, you're important. You are connected to people who love you. You are loved by those people, and those people don't want anything to happen to you, right? And so if you do something stupid to yourself, such as take your own life, you're going to bring grief and pain to them for the rest of their lives. It's almost like people who take their lives don't take this into consideration. They believe that by ending their lives, they're ending their pain, but what they're in fact doing is they're ending that feeling of depression, which is temporary, and then they're replacing it with a permanent pain for other people who will suffer after they leave. The reality is that in the future, each and every one of you listening to this video will have someone come to you for advice. And the reality also is that if you're not around to give that advice, you're going to produce grief and pain to those people who were supposed to come to you for advice, but maybe you took your life, maybe you did something permanent and result of depression, and therefore you're not going to be there for them. So I want you to think about this. And so I also want you to think about depression and how quickly you can combat it. And so some of you that are experiencing a little bit, especially now, like the summer's coming to an end, fall is right around the corner, and so you're going to start thinking, did I do everything that I thought I was going to do, in the summertime? Is everything going well in my life? Should I have done things differently, et cetera, et cetera. And so I want you to think about this, steps of how you can minimize depression. Number one, when you wake up in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you realize you open your eyes and you're awake, you need to jump out of bed and get in the shower. I've said this before during my classes, and I think a lot of people realize that what I'm saying is real. Don't stay in bed. Don't allow the ego to take over. Don't allow your suspicious mind to start creating doubt. What about this? What about this? Why isn't this working out? Why isn't that working out? Instead, you need to jump out of bed and you need to get in the shower and you need to start your day. People who do this automatically start fighting depression. People who have a mission, people who decide, I'm not going to sit in bed, and the longer you know this because some of you have experienced this, the longer you sit in bed, the worse it is to get up. That's a reality check right there, right? I'm a doctor, but I'm not a medical doctor. I'm an academic doctor, but I'm telling you from the stuff that I've read, from my knowledge, that the longer you sit in bed, the longer depression seems to materialize. So anyway, you jump out of bed, you get in the shower, you put on fresh clothes. There's something magical that happens once you take a shower and you put on a clean t-shirt, or you put on clean shorts and clean socks and clean underwear, and get out of the house, get out of your room, get out of your comfort area. Go a different route, walk to a park, drink some water in the morning. That's the first thing. People are dehydrated. When they wake up, they don't feel good. Well, of course, your body's lost water during the night. Go to the bathroom, drink some water, hopefully healthy, clean water, not city full of chlorine water. Anyway, and that's how you start your day. Some of the other things that I will tell you right away, those of you that suffer from depression, is to avoid the news. Stop reading the news. Stop listening to the news. Stop listening to social media. Stop planting yourself in a sedentary lifestyle in front of the computer, expecting that that's going to fix you. It's not going to fix you. You have to do what I just did. You have to get out of town. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to go experience a new place. You have to kind of walk by yourself. Trust me on this. When you're alone, you have to enjoy the company. I enjoy my company. I enjoy who I am. But it hasn't always been this way. I've had some difficult times in my life. How did I overcome these times? I overcame these times by finding the things that I needed to do to my body, to my life, to minimize depression, to make myself happier. And I've mentioned in a couple of videos before that happiness does not happen by the flip of a switch. Happiness can be used to combat depression, but it happens if you do certain events throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month that will eventually make you happy.